Another very important thing to have in your partnership agreement is a buy-sell agreement. This is what prevents you from eventually having partners that you never intended to have. Suppose you and Joe are experts on computer software design, and for a few years you run this partnership and you design some fabulous software and you're making a lot of money, and one day Joe has a heart attack and dies. Well, you still have responsibility for designing the same amount of new software, and you're still making a lot of money, only now you've discovered that your new 50% business partner is Joe's widow, who knows nothing whatsoever about computers or about software. All she knows is she's entitled now to 50% share of the profit. Well, you probably don't want Joe's wife, his widow, as your partner. So you've got to have something in the agreement about what happens if something like that happens and one of us wants out of the partnership or one of us dies. How do we buy the other one out in a way that's fair? Many different ways you can agree to that. Usually it involves agreeing to some format to use for determining the value of the business venture so that we can decide how much is to be paid for your share. And also very important to put in there the terms of payment. If Sam has to buy Joe's widow out when Joe suddenly dies of a heart attack, we don't want it to be that Sam's got to come up with $250,000 within a month to buy out Joe's widow. Maybe that would force the sale of the business and ruin the business anyway, because you suddenly have to come up with that much cash and you can't come up with it. So what are going to be the fair and reasonable terms of payment? Maybe we're going to pay Joe's widow 20% down and we're going to pay her so much a month for a couple of years until we pay off the balance. That way Sam's not financially ruined just because Joe died, but Joe's widow gets a fair share of the partnership interest. So terms of payment are important in a buy-sell agreement too. Okay, so we've talked about mostly kind of in general about general partnerships so far. Let's talk for a minute about limited partnerships. What's the difference between a limited partnership and a general partnership? Well, one of the big differences is in a general partnership, you go to your friend and you say, I'd like you to invest in my business and become a partner. I don't have enough money to start the business venture by myself, but if you would invest also, then we could make a lot of money together. And your friend that you're offering this to says, gee, I'd like to come in and be partners with you, but I'm afraid what would happen if the business fails, like so many new startup businesses do fail. I don't mind putting in my $100,000 to help you get started. But what I'm worried about is you run up $1 million worth of debt during the first 2 years and then the business fails, like so many of them do, and I end up having liability as a general partner for $1 million worth of debt. So I'm sorry, even though I'd like to help you out, I cannot invest in your business. I can't afford the risk of being a general partner. Well, maybe at that time you set up a limited partnership where one partner, or maybe more, but at least one partner, is designated the general partner. That partner has all the decision-making authority and manages and operates the business. The other partners are designated as limited partners, and they do not participate in management and control of the business, and they do not have liability for the debts of the business. The maximum amount that the limited partners can have liability for or lose is the amount of the investment that they put in. They might lose their investment if the business fails, but they're not on the hook for the whole $1 million worth of business debt. So much easier to obtain limited partners as investors than it is to obtain general partners. Now, one caution about that. If you ever are a limited partner, you should never ever participate or attempt to participate in the management and control of a limited partnership. As soon as you as a limited partner begin to participate in management and control, you may be designated as a general partner, and then you may take on all that liability that otherwise you would not have. So stay out of management if you're going to be a limited partner. One other thing to note about limited partnerships, the general partner owes a fiduciary duty. That's that highest duty of loyalty and care to the limited partners. So general partner, even though you're making all the management decisions, every time you make one of those management decisions, you must do it keeping in mind the best interests of partners. So that's kind of a general overview of general partnerships and limited partnerships. Less frequently encountered is the limited liability partnership, which is designed primarily for professional people like doctors and lawyers and accountants. Sometimes you will see LLP after their name. That means they have a special form of limited partnership, which enables them to share responsibility for common debts like the lease on the office equipment or the loan to purchase the office building, but they are not jointly liable for the other professionals' professional malpractice. So doctors could be in this and they have shared liability for the loan they took out to buy the medical equipment, but they don't have shared liability if one of them accidentally kills someone doing a surgery. That is a limited liability partnership designed primarily for professionals. Another somewhat rare partnership is the family limited partnership. This is a form of limited partnership where all of the members or all of the partners are members of the same family. This is frequently used with large family farms or other large family businesses, and sometimes it has some significant estate tax planning opportunities. So there's kind of a general overview of the law of partnerships. Best of luck to you, and if you do ever form a partnership, be sure to get that written partnership agreement at the very beginning, and be sure to have that written buy-sell agreement in there. That's it.